Welcome back to Game 2. Simon Martone on the bump for the Hurricanes. Facing off against the leadoff batter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a swing and a miss gets the first K in the book for Game 2. Outside edge for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out on the second batter. So leadoff batter Justin Smith goes down swinging. Bishop Quarles, the center fielder, in Game 2. First time seeing freshman right-handed pitcher Simon Martone. 3-2, and lines it into left field in front of James Green. So first hit for the Bobcats in the top of the first inning here at Frazier Field. Game 2, opening day doubleheader. 9-inning game the Hurricanes took in a 9-4 victory. Here in Game 2 will be 7 innings. 1 out, runner on first. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down from Modric, and it'll be just shy as Bishop Quarles gets a stolen base. Nelson Zapata, the right fielder, at the plate. Interesting hand signal there by the catcher, Modric. Ground ball. Graham White, 4-3. White to Jones. Pushes Bishop Quarles to third. For the second out. 2 outs, runner on third. 13 pitches so far for the freshman right-hander. 4th batter in the lineup, Diego Melendez. He's the shortstop for the Bobcats. Inside, called strike. One ball, 1 strike, 2 out, and a runner on third. Chopping ground ball out of play on the left side. Barehanded by Kenny Shadle in foul territory. Top of the first inning for Game 2. Canes and Bobcats, doubleheader, opening day at Frazier Field. $19 people in the live stream so far. Thanks for joining us. Base hit up the middle, diving is Lewinsky, but he won't get to it, so an RBI single. For Diego Melendez. Chris Johnson, the second baseman, he played first in Game 1. Coach Patigliaro slid Johnson over to second. In the Bobcat defense. Martone low and away on the first offering to Johnson. Gives Modric an opportunity. Had Melendez taken off for second. The pitch. High and away, gets fouled off into the net. Just misses the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, and a runner on first. 1 run has scored. Melendez with an RBI single up the middle. Out of reach for the shortstop, Lewinsky. Big breaking ball over the helmet as Chris Johnson has to duck out of the way. Now what's going to be interesting here is, was that a setup? The 3-1. Swing and a miss. Johnson over the top. Full count with 2 outs and runner on first. Martone comes set and deals. Keeps the ball high and away from Johnson. He puts that appropriately onto the batting cage barn. And both pitcher and batter will get a reset on the payoff pitch. Lofted high in the center field. Kreiner and Green converge on the warning track, and James Green takes it. 2 hits, a run, 1 left on after 1 inning. And the Canes about to come to bat. As we're in the middle of the first inning in Game 2 of a doubleheader and an opening day here at Frazier Field, Louisburg, North Carolina. Welcome back to live action here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina, home to the Louisburg College Hurricanes. They take on the Bryant Stratton Bobcats here in Game 2 of an opening day doubleheader. Leadoff batter Nick Lobello. First pitch up the middle, base hit. Casey Proctor on the bump for the Bobcats.
Number 13, Taylor Costello.
Taylor Costello, the catcher in Game 1. Costello with a DH for Martone. Pulls one inside down the third baseline. Well past Angel Arellano. And Costello with a RBI, moving Nick Lobello over to third.
Now up to bat, number 30, Kenny Shadle.
Third baseman Kenny Shadle. One of 4 Canes in Game 1 that went over the fence in the outfield for home runs. Chopped one down at third. Ariona to first. So a sack RBI. Infield sack RBI. Stumbling on my words there, but a run for the Canes. Shadle doing yeoman's work.
Coming up the bat, number 10, Anthony Jones.
And Anthony Jones, another member of the home run club from Game 1. Proctor's first offering to him. Bit of a breaking ball inside that doesn't meet the umpire's standards. About 47 people watching. Let us know where you're coming from. One with one out and a runner on second. Hard hit past the third baseman on the left side. Justin Smith out in left field for the Bobcats will hold Costello at third. So Jones with a base hit. So 1 run and 3 hits. Scheidel with the sack infield ground ball to the third baseman. And James Green now, the left fielder, skies one out of play on the left side in his first at-bat here in Game 2. Thanks for joining us on the Louisburg Sports Network via YouTube. We're live from behind the backstop in the broadcast booth, bringing you play-by-play action. My name is Bill. Thanks for joining us today. About 50 people already watching here in the first inning. Paul Modric and Elsie chiming in from New Jersey. Thanks. Green skies that one out. Green unable to get a hit in the first game, but making contact. And he gets caught looking here in game 2, his first at bat.
Now batting, number 6, Evan Slawinski.
Anthony Jones back to first. Teo Costello over on third. Proctor, the left-hander, deals. Foul tip into the glove of Dakota Dahl. Evan Slawinski, shortstop for the Canes so far in games 1 and 2, steps back into the box with an open batter's stance. And Costello will score as Jones will advance on wild pitch. So 2 runs on 3 hits so far with 2 outs. Runner in scoring position at second. And Slawinski has a 2-1 count. Cuffed, roller back to the pitcher, 1-3. So the Canes answer back with an extra run to go up by 1 after 1. A 2-1 score. As the Canes take on the Bobcats in Game 2 here at Frazier Field, Louisburg College Sports Network. When the Canes come back to the plate, it'll be Kreiner, Modric, and Wake at the bottom of the order. And right now, though, for the Bobcats, Caden Smith, Angel Ariona, and Dakota Dahl. Welcome back to Hurricanes Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. My name is Bill. We're live from behind the backstop. Bringing it to you live here on YouTube. Simon Martone on the bump for game 2. He's a freshman out of Apex, Holly Springs, North Carolina. Home to the Apex Friendship Patriots. Slow roller to Anthony Jones. Takes it himself unassisted for the first out. Angel Ariona. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. If I'm not, somebody correct me. I apologize. Angel is now at the plate. That was Caden Smith. First pitch to Ariona. Called strike. Very close on the low inside corner, but not enough. 1-1 with 1 out and nobody on. Canes leading by 1 after 1 inning. Chopped hard past Scheidel. And it slows to a stop in some standing water down the third base line. And Angel Ariona is going to have a double. James Green just took a bath as he slipped in the standing water that's in a kind of low spot out there. I know prior to the game start we had some rain overnight, and Coach Blake Herring was having any number of the players squeegee off the outfield in those kind of low spots. I don't know that there's much that can be done to, other than fully resurfacing the field, that would prevent that from happening. It's just a part of the stadium. Lights are coming on as the sun is setting behind some overcast skies on the 1st of February. Runner on second with 1 out. Fastball popped up out of play on the right side by Dakota Dahl, the catcher for the Bobcats. Closing in on 30 pitches as Martone is facing the 8th batter in the lineup here in the top of the 2nd inning. Gave up 2 hits and 1 run in the 1st inning. A little off speed on the inside, gets the call. 2-2 with 1 out. Brittany Fuller-Lohman and Paul Modrick. Cohen, thanks for joining. Big swing and a miss by Dakota Dahl. 2 strikeouts now in the book for Martone, 1 in the 1st, and so far here 1 in the 2nd. Bottom of the lineup, Brandon Astabza. There's a mouthful for me. First pitch upstairs. 2 outs and a runner on second. Astabza comes down a little bit inside. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Astabza from Pembroke Pines, Florida, Flanagan High School, 6'2" freshman, left-handed batter and outfielder. Pokes it into left. James Green backing up, gets under it, and he makes it 3. So 1 left on. As Astabza goes down on a fly ball to left field. And when the Bobcats come back at the top of the 3rd, it'll be Smith, Quarles, and Zapata here in Louisburg Sports Network. Welcome back to Louisburg College Hurricanes baseball here on the Louisburg Sports Network, live from behind the backstop and on YouTube. Bringing you game 2 of an opening day doubleheader between the Louisburg Hurricanes and the Bryant Stratton Bobcats out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Up at the plate right now, though, Stephen Kreiner with Modric and Wyke behind him. They're in the bottom third of the lineup for the Canes here in Game 2. Canes, if you missed it, in Game 1, won by 5 runs in a 9-4 home run event for the Canes. A little bit of a fumble by the first baseman on a soft grounder by Kreiner, but he's able to recover it. Caden Smith over at first, unassisted for the first out. So not exactly sure how you score that in the paper book. I'm just going to put down a 3-3, even though I know my buddy Bob would tell me more specifically how I should be recording that. Jake Modric now, the catcher. Second batter in the second inning here for the Canes. First pitch from Casey Proctor, not good enough to put a strike on the board. So 1 out, nobody on. Big breaking ball outside. 2-0. About 55 people joined in. 3 people have checked in. Let us know where you're watching from on the live chat of YouTube if you can. And a low fastball gets sliced away foul out of play by the catcher, Modric. Soft fly ball into left field. And Modric puts up a base hit to start off his season at the plate. Good for you, Mr. Modric. I'm sure Mom and Dad, Paul and Elise, be thrilled to see that. Second baseman for the second game, Graham Wyke. W-I-K-E. Check swing, but takes a called strike. So Proctor, a left-hander, has the advantage of seeing the runners at first. Modric will have to obviously play conservative in his secondary leads. Proctor deals. Wyke lofts it into center field on the run. Bishop Quarles to the warning track, and that'll send Modric back to first. So 2 outs as Wyke flies out to the 8th position on the scorecard. If you're following along at home, that's 2 outs. And now back up to the top of the order here in the bottom of the second inning is Nick Labello, the right fielder for the Canes. Should probably say Hurricanes. Though I think in the gift shop, if I saw the school gift shop, Cat 5 is the... And a pickoff, not in time, gets past the first baseman. And goes out of play as it goes into the batting cage. Yeah, that didn't seem right. I thought we saw in the first game where the ball went out of play like that, and the runner was sent to third. That was early in the first game. Guess different rules maybe. Well, Modric is at second with 2 outs. Proctor deals up and away. If you're following along in Game Changer, you can see play-by-play stats. Might be a little bit out of sync between my conversation with you here on YouTube and what you see in your hand on a smartphone or a laptop, but generally speaking, more ways to enjoy the game. Low and inside, bounces off, and that'll allow for Modric to get to third. So Lobello down to first. Teo Costello, the DH.
Number 13, the King of New York, Teo Costello.
Double in his first at-bat here in Game 2. Lots of spirit by this young man. Hard ground ball to the shortstop. 5-4 on a fielder's choice is going to take the Canes' opportunity to score there out of contention. So a runner left on, technically, as Costello grounds into a fielder's choice for the third out. When the Canes come back to the plate, Scheidel, Jones, and Green. Back to live defensive action by the Canes as they face off in Game 2 of a doubleheader on opening day. Game 2 here now is under the lights as the February sun is setting and the overcast skies are wiping out any additional sunlight. Temperatures are dropping through the 50-degree mark as we start to get prepared here in the stadium for a cool but seasonably mild February baseball game. Simon Martone back on the bump for the Canes. Third inning. He's put up 36 pitches. 64% of those have been strikes so far on the 9 batters that he's faced. Two strikeouts, 3 hits, and 1 run. And the first pitch to the top of the order, Justin Smith, a swing and a miss. He struck out on his first at-bat against Martone. Hits him on the hand. Inside fastball. So an HBP for the leadoff batter in top of the third inning. Brings up the center fielder, Bishop Corliss, and behind him on deck is Nelson Zapata, the right fielder. Corliss, the left-hander. Martone with a little English finds the strike zone for the first offering to Corliss. Single with a stolen base by Corliss in the first inning. And he fouls off a fastball inside. Smith on first after being hit by a pitch as the leadoff batter. And there's that fastball that moves in on the left-handed batters, definitely to the advantage of Martone. 0-2 count, no outs, and a runner on first. We're in the top of the third inning here at Frazier Field, Louisburg, North Carolina, as the Hurricanes take on the Bobcats in Game 2 of opening day doubleheader. The pickoff right on the money, but just not quite quick enough to get Justin Smith leaning in the opposite direction. Anthony Jones over at first for the Hurricanes. Martone deals. Inside, swing and a miss, and a throw down not in time. But that will be the third K in the book for Martone. .42 pitches for the freshman. One out and a runner on second. Nelson Zapata grounded out 4-3. And the ball is going to get past Modric, and that'll let the runner advance. So Smith down on third. Have to imagine as a catcher, you have a runner on second, ball coming in that's moving. Even though you know you agreed on that pitch, it's got to be rough to keep it in front of you. You got to do three things at once. Watch the runner, watch the ball, catch the ball, and obviously be set up to throw. The next pitch fouled off. 1-1 with one out. Runner on third, inside out, swing and a miss. Right fielder Nelson Zapata steps back in, 1-2, and he lofts this one to Steven Kreiner, who's on a horse, gets to the warning track over his shoulder, makes the catch, but clearly not enough time to set up for a relay to home. A run will score on a sac fly to deep center field. So far, a strikeout and a flyout hit by pitch that made its way around the bases and across the plate. So that's another run. Right up the middle is Martone's momentum going the opposite way, so that'll be a base hit for Diego Melendez, the shortstop. He also singled in his first at-bat. Two outs and a runner on first. A little break in the momentum by Coach Blake Herring. I'd always love to have a microphone on the coach and the players when he's making a mound visit like this. Like, you know, is it about the game? Is it about the situation? Is it about something totally nonsensical, just simply to reset the pitcher's mind? This is a little bit longer than usual, so the home plate umpire is going to make his way out there to encourage Coach Blake Herring to wrap it up. No pitch clock here at JUCO. Maybe somebody could leave us a note in the live chat as to what do you know about the likelihood that the National Junior College Athletic Association might adopt the pitch clock. Two out and a runner on first. Chris Johnson at the plate. Gets the outside corner call. Johnson was the third out in the first inning. Just past the back of Chris Johnson as he spun around, not knowing if that ball was going to break in or not. Looked like it did just a touch, but not much. The 1-1. Outside, but it's not going to get the call this time. Diego Menendez. Stutter steps. Now he takes off. Swing and a miss. Throw down. Not going to be in time. Menendez with the base path speed. That'll pick up a stolen base. So a 2-2 count on the batter with 2 outs, and Menendez in scoring position out at second. It's a 2-2 game. We're in the top of the 3rd inning. Fly ball right field. Nick Lobello on the run. Takes it for the 3rd out. So 1 left on. As we go to the middle of the 3rd. And Chris Johnson makes the 3rd out for the 2nd time in his plate appearances so far in Game 2. Smith, Ariona, and Dahl will come up when the Bobcats come back to the plate. For now, though, Scheidel, Jones, and Green due up for the Canes here on the Louisburg Sports Network. Kenny Scheidel now coming to the plate here in Game 2 for the 2nd time. Grounded out into a 5-3 situation in his first at-bat of Game 2. So we got New Jersey and Nashville representing in the house. Where else? Who else are you coming to us from today? There's 67 of you at least, so there's got to be something more to represent than just there. Ed Kennedy with Holly Springs, thank you, sir. My remote technical producer. Fly ball, left, right center, drops in for a base hit. So Scheidel with a clean piece of hitting. To start off the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Coming up to bat, number 10.
New York City being represented, thank you. If you were watching us in Game 1, there was a lot of conversation in the live chat. We saw people from, quite frankly, all over the country. Anthony Jones, the first baseman, now in his 2nd plate appearance. He singled and was left on base at 2nd in the 1st inning. Breaking ball, called strike. That lefty advantage for the pitcher, Proctor. Foul ball. Time to take off the sunglasses. If you're here listening to the broadcast as you're watching live and in person. Appreciate it. Thank you. 66 people currently. Love the engagement. Keep it coming. Swing and a miss. High and away from Proctor. Fans Jones. So one out and a runner on first. James Green, the left fielder.
James Green.
Green with a good, healthy dose of production last year. 42 RBIs, 11 home runs. Pickoff not in time. 29 stolen bases. If he can get out there, he is a big threat. Mike out of Lynchburg. On behalf of Chris Johnson, thanks for joining. A left-hander with a big swing and a miss. Saw James hitting in the fall season. Lots of power by this young man, hence the Division I commit out to the University of Arkansas this past offseason. Check swing, foul ball. That's going to send Kenny Shadle back to first. I have to remember it's Shadle, not Scheidel. Apologies to his mom and dad. Proctor comes set, and Shadle steps off for a secondary. Breaking ball goes low, and Green holds off. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Tie game in the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-2. Proctor deals. Must have been low. I'm at an angle that looked deceivingly not a ball. I don't know how else to say that. We'll see what we can do. Maybe some point during the season we can get up a couple extra cameras for some entertaining angles. Shadle goes. Hit and run action just over the leaping Chris Johnson. And Scheidel makes it to third on a hit and run play. Well executed by James Green. So Scheidel with the head start gets his way over to third. Don't think those would ever come up as a stolen base because it was a hit by Green. So 1 out. Corners are occupied. And Evan Slowinski steps in. Slowinski with a 3-run homer of his own. Lofts it, left field, left center, center left. At the track, it's caught. Shadle's going to score, and James Green will hold at first.
Coming up to bat, number 4, Stephen Kreiner.
Well, scoreboard shows 7 hits. I only have 6. Called strike to Stephen Kreiner. Kreiner, the center fielder, he's 0 for 1. He hit into a unassisted out to the first baseman. I think he got cuffed, if I remember correctly. Cuts that one off and sends it deep into the woods behind the clubhouse. Had a Canes alum in the first game, Nate. Apologies, sir. Either or hopefully will do. Did not get a hold of Coach Frazier, though. James Green will get down there on a pass ball. I typically call the balls that bounce off the catcher pass ball, and those that are just way beyond touching. Oh, just nicks him. So Kreiner gets... Oh, hold on. What do we got going on here? What did I miss with Evan Slowinski?
Number 14, Jake Motrack.
Blink for a minute. We got 2 outs, so Mr. Slowinski. Kreiner hit by pitch. Jake Modric now. He's 1 for 1, 48 pitches for Casey Proctor here in the bottom of the 3rd. Canes now inched ahead by 1 run. Green fakes the run from second and gets Dakota Dahl to scoot out behind Jake Modric for a clean view at third. Steven Kreiner at first. Outside, slapped foul. Out of frame is assistant coach Matt Tulloch. And at third, Coach Meyer. So Kreiner and Green trying to play cat and mouse with Dakota Dahl to get him to make a throw. But Dahl able to resist the urge to start throwing the ball around. Proctor deals just past the kneecaps of Modric. Modric with a single in his first at-bat. Ended up getting stranded on third. 2 outs, full count, payoff pitch, slapped softly foul to Coach Meyer. Bryce Myers at third. So assistant coaches Myers and Tulloch taking the base paths, third and first, while Coach Herring this season is going to stay in the dugout while the Canes are up to bat. Proctor deals, slapped right back up the middle. That'll be right in, bobbled. And so now we have a throw at the plate, and he'll get under the tag. Terrific for the Canes. So Green scores on a little bit of throw around by the... And White picks up a base hit on a fielder's choice. Second baseman Chris Johnson tried to field it cleanly right over the top of the bag, and as he was turning, he just mishandled it. Kind of a bang-bang play for him as he was chasing to the bag as Green was taken off. Kind of an adrenaline-pumping situation for the second baseman. I'm sure he'll be replaying that in his head. We all would. But time to best players just move on. Don't think about it. Proctor deals, gets the outside call. Back to the top of the order with Nick Labello now. Oh, I'm sorry, Graham White. Wow, so that was Modric that got the single. My bad, and an RBI. And White is at the plate. And that's going to be it on a fly out. Canes put another 2 on the board in the bottom of the third to go ahead by 2 here at Frazier Field in Louisburg on the Louisburg Sports Network. Welcome back to Hurricanes Baseball. Coming to you live from behind the backstop on YouTube across the Louisburg Sports Network. A little bit of a question earlier about pitch clocks for the NJCAA. And sure enough, thanks to Ed Kennedy looking this one up on the Google, they are adopting the pitch clock for their baseball games. Probably good to be consistent throughout all ranks of baseball now. At this point, I don't know that it'll make its way into high school and below, but at least junior college, NCAA, definitely worth being consistent so the players can adopt quickly and early. Simon Martone back for 4th inning. And he's looking at Caden Smith with Angel Ariona behind him on deck with Dakota Dahl doubled up. Smith with the unassisted ground ball to the first baseman in his first at bat. One count on the leadoff batter for the start of the 4th inning. A little late, skies it out. Hurricanes in their all whites. Outside in pitch doesn't quite come in enough, but an interesting pitch to the left-handed batter, 2-2. And there he gets him looking. So a backwards K from Martone. And that's 4. One in the first, one in the second, another in the third, and now a 4th here in the 4th for Martone, putting K's in the book. His personal best of an 11K outing this past summer, along with the MVP title at Apex Friendship High School, a SWAC tournament, championship tournament title. All sorts of fun watching Coach Civitello and the Patriots for the last 4 years. The back door coming around as Angel Ariona frozen. The 1-2. Swing and a miss outside. Martone warmed up here in the 4th inning. He's at 62 pitches now with 5 strikeouts. Just what the doctor ordered for game 2. Patriots up by 2. Oh, my God, I'm talking Patriots. Sorry, folks. Canes up by 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Foul tip. 2 Ks for this 4th inning. Dakota Dahl, the catcher, another foul tip. So an 0-2 count with 2 outs, nobody on. Very efficient inning for the freshman right-hander in his first college appearance. Just misses a bit low. Probably a throwaway to Dahl, trying to see if he'll chase. Another fishing setup, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm consistent with our viewers, let alone with a player's perspective or a coach's. All right, so Martone's trying to paint all the corners and see if he can get Dahl to chase. Fills up the count with 2 outs. Serves it up, and a line drive drops into right field in front of Nick Labello for a base hit.
Way to battle, Dakota. Good job.
2 outs and a runner on first. We'll back out the view here so we can keep an eye on the base runner. A little quiet in the live stream for 66 people. You folks must be eating dinner at 5:30 Eastern. I know I was shoveling some leftover hamburger in my face in between games. Estabza at the plate. He got a fly out to the left fielder, James Green. Takes a first pitch called strike. That comes across and hits Estabza. So now we got runners first and second with 2 outs, and Coach Herring is going to call to the bullpen rather, and get relief as Martone closes in on 71 pitches. So Martone puts up 3 2/3 of inning. He gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, and has 5 strikeouts. And it looks like we're going to see Cody Mahaffey as the power pitcher that he is coming in behind Martone. He'll get some warm-up time here as we hang tight. If you want, go get a beverage, grab a snack. We'll be right here waiting for you to come back. You're watching Hurricanes Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. Welcome back to Louisburg Baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. Cody Mahaffey, first reliever in Game 2, serves up a breaking ball to the top of the order. Justin Smith, with runners on first and second. Smith is 0 for 1. On the day, he struck out and was hit by a pitch. So Martone, the starting pitcher, walks off with 64% strike ratio and facing 18 batters with 5 Ks, giving up 2 runs, no walks, and 5 hits, 3 2/3 innings pitched. Line drive, center field, off the top of the batter's eye. Looks like a 2 RBI double. Though with those 2 runs, I think, are going to get credited to Martone because he put them on base. So Mahaffey will not acquire those, I think. He will get charged with the hit, but not with the runs. But correct me if you know differently. Angie Herring chiming in. Thank you, ma'am. Mahaffey gets the called strike, 1-1 with 2 outs and a runner on second. Been hovering in the 60s for attendance today. We have at least that many here in the stadium for Game 2. Swing and a miss on the outside. Oh, there we go. Pitch clock violation, first of the season for the Canes. Answering my question earlier. Thanks to Ed Kaneni for chiming in with the specifics about the rules. 2-2 with 2 out and a runner on second. Can't quite get the outside corner call there. So Dahl and Estabza scored, and Stewart for Smith is now at second. High sky fly ball into right field. Nick Lobello back to the warning track. It's close to the fence, jumps, and it goes over. So an 2 RBI home run on a high fly ball into right field by Bishop Quarles. I believe, yes, Bishop Quarles. So 2 additional runs, that's 4 for the inning. And that's 6 total now for the Bobcats as the Canes drop back on a 2-run deficit in the top of the 4th inning. Seven hits for the Bobcats, 6 for Louisburg. Fly ball out in foul territory, but Anthony Jones able to pick it up out of frame to help the Canes get out of a messy inning. It was going good, but then it got rough. Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. We'll be right back. Casey Proctor back on the mound, the left-handed southpaw pitcher for the Bryant Stratton Bobcats. He's pitched 3 complete innings at a total of 61 pitches, averaging a 60%, we'll round it up, 61% strike rate. He's had 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, has given up 2 earned runs on 6 hits across 3 innings. We'll see how far Coach Paul Vitegliero lets the southpaw go. Top of the lineup now for the Canes as we start the bottom of the 4th inning. Nick Labello, the right fielder, off the end of the barrel. It's going to drop shallow in center field, but oncoming is Bishop Corliss. Quite the athlete out in center field. So an FO8 in the book for Nick Labello. And a little 1 in the corner with a circle to indicate the first out of the inning. DH, Teo Costello, hailing from New York City. I think his teammates here on the mic referred to him as the King of New York as he approached the plate. Where's Malachi? I don't see him in the live stream. Is he out there? I know he was for game 1. Big cut. Just a bit under it. Proctor's offering a little bit up. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. If you're just joining us, Canes gave up 4 runs in the prior inning with 2 outs. They just couldn't put a bow on it. And Costello trying to be aggressive. Got to give him credit for doing that. If you were watching game 1, complimentary reference here for Kenny Shadle as a mini judge. A little bit of a joke, though. He's not little. 6'3". Says 215, but I'm going to say he's sporting a healthy 225 at least. Big cut. He hits the ball, it goes. Transfer back from Georgia Tech. And he shows all the ingredients for a top player. He made a beautiful catch at third in a scrimmage earlier in the week. Get some looking on the outside corner. A 1-2-3 inning for the Canes. Rough, but they can bring it back. I know they can. When the Canes come back, Jones, Green, and Slowinski. Cody Mahaffey back on the mound as the first reliever here in Game 2. He picked up a third of an innings pitched, giving up 2 runs, 2 hits, no strikeouts, no walks. He inherited 2 runners on base. They also scored, but those will get carted back to Martone, the starting pitcher, who put them on base. Unfortunately, they reached on a base hit and a hit by pitch after putting the first 2, Smith and Ariona, down on strikes. Looked like a really strong inning for the starter, and then things just started happening. But here we are now in the bottom of the 4th inning, top of the 5th rather. And Cody Mahaffey going to try to do some quick work of the Bobcats and get his teammates back to the plate. First pitch struck into left field. There's that low spot. James Green is going to have to be careful. There was standing wetness. I don't know how much water, but he had slipped earlier. We'll back out the camera so that you can see the runners. So a line drive into left field by Nelson Zapata. Nope. Wait. Melendez. Pardon me. Chris Johnson now at the plate, but we're going to see Coach Herring decide to exchange Mahaffey. Try to stop the bleeding of hot bats by the Bobcats. Should see Game Changer getting updated here shortly.
On the bumps for your Louisburg Hurricanes, number 52, Anthony Dorner.
Anthony Dorner, left-handed pitcher out of Morrisville, North Carolina. Ardrey Kell High School, 250-pound, 6'2", left-handed hurler. He's a redshirted freshman, so no stats from last year. It'll be a different look for the Bobcats as both Martone and Mahaffey, right-handed power throwers. Dorner, though, clocking in at 6'2". He has a different appearance compared to the first 2 pitchers. So a runner on first, Melendez, after he singled into left. Chris Johnson is coming up. He's 0 for 2, but I think everybody in this lineup for the Bobcats is a threat. Caden Smith behind him. And unless they turn 2 on the infield, Angel Ariana. Ariana with the double in his first at-bat, but then he struck out in the prior inning. Dorner deals. Johnson takes a big cut at it. Chris Johnson, 5'11", Glen Allen, Virginia, Longwood University, coming back to JUCO. And the pickoff move, not in time, but he almost got Melendez leaning on a secondary. So Dorner as the left-hander with the advantage with the throw to first and the coverage at least. Line shot by Johnson into right field. One hop to Nick Labello. And Melendez will have to hold at second. Johnson with a single. And a runner ahead of him with no outs. 6-4 right now in favor of the Bobcats, as we are in the top of the fifth of 7 from what I was told earlier. Trying to get that blue backstop out of the picture. It's a little distracting. Shadle in on the corner, as is Jones. I think we have a sub, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I have Caden Smith, who's due up. It's looking like number 11. Not clear unless they did a sub out on the base paths. A lot of cleats on the... Ben Malone is at the plate, so he's a sub for Caden Smith. Malone was in the first game at third. Takes a first pitch called strike from Dorner. Cindy McGinnis, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Thank you, ma'am. Home to the Marines. Camp Lejeune. So all the veterans out there, thank you for your service. I know it's not Veterans Day, but every day is Veterans Day in my book. Dorner deals. The bunt gets pulled back at the last minute by Malone. Failed attempt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. No outs. First and second. If you're joining us in the last few minutes and you didn't see the changeover, Cody Mahaffey was relieved with Anthony Dorner. High and away, he pulled it back. Field umpire also agrees. He did not go. Coach Blake Herring is saying that he heard a foul tip into the glove. Not sure. I have a headset on, so I can't quite hear much, but we'll turn up the ambient mic. Maybe we'll pick it up. Back to work. Dorner versus Malone. And again, he just keeps putting up that attempted bunt. 2-2 with no outs. At this point, I think it's just small ball trying to distract Dorner. And Malone is a bit in on the plate. So I don't know if the lefty has something with some English on it, but we'll see. And he gets him. Dorner down the middle. And Malone pulls it back, leaning and hovering over the top of the strike zone. And it didn't work out that time. So I believe that would be a backwards K because he did not swing and he just pulled the bat back. Or at least that's how I'm going to record it. Angel Ariana. First pitch from Dorner, low and in. 1 out, 2 on. Top of the 5th inning at Fraser Field. Pardon me. End of West College Street in Louisburg, North Carolina. Dorner goes outside. And it's getting breezy now, kids. Feeling that draft, and I'm seeing everybody get the blankets out. It is February 1st. We were duped this morning with clear skies and a high of 60 forecast, but that dissipated quickly at around 1 o'clock. Swing and a miss on the outside fastball. Two one. Two. Jacqueline Merlette from Cary. Welcome, ma'am. Canes fan, we love it. Dorner goes outside, seeing if Melendez was going to take off. That would give Modric the chance to come around the right-handed Ariana. I like the name. The full count. Throwdown's not necessary because it was a walk, but Modric throws just in case. So the base is loaded on a walk by Ariana. Dakota Dahl, catcher, 1 for 2. Kenny Shadle in on the corner, as is Anthony Jones. So third and first corners are covered tight. Middle infield playing depth for a double play. Outfield playing honest across. James Green in left, Stephen Kreiner center, and Nick Labello in right. Great coverage out there for the Hurricanes this season with those three. Productive bats as well in the lineup. Top of the 5th inning. Canes. We're resetting the clock. I didn't go to hand signal school, so I missed what that meant. Dorner goes inside on the catcher, Dahl. Bases loaded with 1 out. Additional action in the bullpen for the Canes right now. They have tomorrow's rubber match, game 3 of a 3-game set, to be played in Virginia Beach, Virginia tomorrow. Called strike. 76 people in the live stream. If you haven't chimed in yet, and I think there are a lot of you who haven't, let us know where you're watching from and who you're here on behalf of. Are you a Canes fan? Are you a Bobcats fan? Are you just a junior college baseball fan? And Anthony Dorner on the mound, battling with Dakota Dahl, who's at the plate. Just to bring you up to speed, if you joined us late, across the infield right now, we've had some substitutions. So Kenny Shadle at third, Troy Daniels at short, Graham Wyke at second, and Anthony Jones at first, with Jake Modric still behind the dish. Swing and a miss. So Dakota Dahl strikes out for the second time in game 2. And 1 strikeout, a walk, and a ground out in the first game today. If you missed the doubleheader, you can go back later because I know you want something to fall asleep to. You'll get to listen to my beautiful broadcasting voice. Call the play-by-play in game 1 of this opening day 2-game doubleheader. Anthony Dorner lets one sail in the first pitch to Brandon Estabza. 2 outs, bases loaded for the left-handed hurler. Ground ball, Shadle, fielder's choice across, and it's going to draw Anthony Jones off the bag. So 1 run scores on a probably an E5, I guess, maybe. Bad throw. So Estabza reaches. Melendez crosses. Johnson to third. And Ariona to second. So 1 run here in the 5th. Good pitch to the next batter. Justin Smith. Actually, it's Stewart. K. Stewart. I think number 3. I'll tell you here in a second. Keith Stewart. Berea, Kentucky. (0-2). Outside in, but just not in enough as Stewart steps out and back in. 1-2, 2 out. Bags are loaded. Not sure what he was trying there. Didn't work clearly. Kelly Herring checking in. Thank you, ma'am. And Clark Corliss from Nashville, Tennessee. Go Bishop. Yeah, he's a good athlete. Check swing. Gets him. Tags him just in case. And the Canes are going to look to be a little pumped as they go into the dugout, trying to earn back some runs that they gave up. 3 to do. It's not impossible. We saw a 3-run homer in the first game from Evan Slewinski. He's been subbed out with Troy Daniels at short. And the Canes are going to bring Jones, Green, and Daniels to the plate on the Louisburg Sports Network. We'll be right back. John and Maria Labello, welcome, folks, parents of Nick. Met you in Mount Olive after the game. Nice meeting you, and glad to have you here on the live stream, checking in from New York City. Guys here in the booth correcting me, apologies, I misspoke. Game 1, 3-run homer with Steven Kreiner. My aging memory failing me. Anthony Jones rips one foul. And the Canes looking to pump up the volume here. See if we can improve the picture a little bit. The lights are glaring off the jerseys. Might be too much. 2-1. Leadoff batter. Jones is 1 for 2. Base hit and a strikeout. Check swing called strike. Full count on the first baseman, Anthony Jones, veteran of the Garner Nationals Senior Legion team under Coach Chris Cook. Holds off and draws the walk. Proctor steps back and looks like he's calling to the dugout for something. He's got action in his bullpen. He's at 76 pitches. First game of the season. I'm sure his bullpens have been going, but foul ball right back at us. Anthony Dorner down on first as a base runner. He is defensively the first baseman for the Canes, but we're in the bottom of 5 right now. James Green holds off. Didn't quite like the pitch. And Green also 1 for 2. Went down looking in his first at-bat, but followed up with a base hit and a stolen base in the 3rd inning. Slaps it at the second baseman for 6. And that's not going to be 3. So Green beats out the double play, and Jones on the force of a fielder's choice. One out. Ambient microphone just hanging out the window here of the broadcast booth. Casey Proctor going to get a round of applause from his dugout and a handful of fans here on behalf of the Bobcats. Troy Daniels is going to have to hold off before he gets his first at-bat of the season while the Bobcats bring in relief. And we'll take a quick read on Mr. Proctor's performance. 4 1/3 inning. He's given up 6 hits, 4 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Faced 23 batters and had a pretty decent strike ratio. Closing in on 80 pitches, he was just shy of 64% at 63 and change. But a very respectable performance for the first outing of the year here at Frazier Field, Louisburg College, home to the Hurricane baseball team. Domino's Pizza is making its way into the clubhouse for the Canes after they've gone on opening day in a doubleheader. We are at the bottom of the 5th with relief. Try to put on some background music of my own. Try to drown out any copyright strikes. 72 people watching on the live stream. Thanks for joining. Really appreciate the company. Love the engagement so far. We've, like I've said, roughly that many people here in the stands. Might be starting to lose a few to the cold weather now that the sun is officially set and the lights are the only means of our ability to play and watch and broadcast. Right now, Bobcats have Mr. Johnson warming up on the mound. Number 12,
Number 8,
Jason Johnson, sophomore out of Charlotte, Gaston College, so he's doubling back for some JUCO ball as a redshirt, presumably 6'1" sophomore. Well, I guess not. He must have pitched some then. Troy Daniels, shortstop for Slowinski. Hails from Athens Drive High School. Also, past summer, playing for Chris Cook on the Garner Nationals Senior Legion team. 1 ball, 1 strike on Troy Daniels. At least based on the hand signal I just saw, it looked like he said 1-1, but I thought that was the first pitch to Daniels. Wild pitch. James Green's going to turn, and he'll hold. But an aggressive turn out at second for Green. So Daniels with an RBI opportunity as James Green has a reputation for stolen bases and RBIs. Well, he'd be a run. But some chatter coming out of the Canes dugout, trying to get Daniels amped up for a base hit. 3 balls, 1 strike, says home plate umpire. And we got to move Mr. Green down to second on a stolen base. Johnson deals, gets the outside corner by just a smidge. Daniels, a utility infielder, just an all-around athlete. I've seen him in the outfield. I've seen him in the past years as a high school player on the mound. Just one of those guys that you love to have in the lineup and on the roster. So Daniels sprints on a pass ball walk, and Green is able to advance on that same opportunity.
out the back, your center fielder, number 4, Steven Kreiner.
So the guys in the booth corrected me. Kreiner had the 3-run homer in the first game, pardon me. I was saying Slowinski, so sorry, Evan, and sorry to Steven. The pickoff not in time, trying to get Green to take off. Caden Smith down on first for the Bobcat. Nope, now Malone is over there. Sorry. Ben Malone on first as the first baseman. Outside, hard throwing, and Green is going to score easily. Daniels will round second. And now the Canes with some spirit in the dugout put a run on the board and another in scoring position. Jason Johnson is a hard-throwing right-hander, and it looks like one of the pitching coaches for the Bobcats is going to go out and speak with him, kind of calm him down, say, hey, look, first game, opening day, just tone it down a touch. You got plenty of velo, young man. I'm sure he wants to make a good impression. Every player out here is looking to do so. First outing of the season. Want to make the best of it. Poise, composure, though, can escape all of us in the heat of the moment. Troy Daniels down on second. Steven Kreiner, the owner of the 3-run homer in game 1, at the plate. Sorry, I had to step away and sort out my cables. I'm all twisted up here and everything that's going on. I guess I'm missing what is the holdup? Anybody have an idea? Still have Troy Daniels out at second. We have Steven Kreiner, the center fielder, at the plate. Kreiner is 0 for 1. Grounded out to first in his first at bat, hit by a pitch, but then got left on base. Jacqueline Marlette, my pleasure, ma'am. Keep tuning in. Keep chiming in. Kreiner takes one on the inside. Cinch this in just a touch. Makes me happy. Try to get rid of that backstop padding. Kreiner lofts one softly through the left side of the infield. Troy Daniels is going to hold at third. Nice productive hitting by Kreiner. Move that runner across. You got one out. Set it up for a first and third scenario. And then you have Modric, who's coming in behind you.
Number 14.
He's 1 for 2. Modric. I think his mom and dad were in here. You folks, correct me. Keep me honest on these pronunciations. I have that standard American dialect going, otherwise known as a Yankee. The throw over to first, not in time. Steven Kreiner head first, getting his all whites dirty. Thank goodness that Coach Herring has a heavy-duty Maytag in the clubhouse. Get those pearly white. Kreiner goes. The throw faked. Not enough to psych out Troy Daniels down on third. So a stolen base on defensive indifference. Runners scoring position with one out for Jake Modric. Ariona on third, Melendez on short, Johnson on second, and Malone on first for the Bobcats. Around the infield, Dahl behind the plate, and Johnson on the mound. The fastball straight away, and Modric does not pull the trigger. I have him down as 2 for 2 with an RBI, but don't trust my scorekeeping. Keep up on the game in Game Changer. That is semi-official, if I understand correctly. Curveball. Gets him. Modric goes down looking. That'll bring in the second baseman.
Off the bat, number 9, the second baseman, Graham White.
And if you didn't hear that through the stadium PA, is Mr. Wyke. He's 0 for 2. He's due with runners in scoring position. We got 2 outs, folks. Mr. Cook, 2 outs on the board, please. Modrak with a long O. Thank you, sir. Mr. Modrak keeping me on my toes. Thank you. Check swing, gonna get called for it. '81 now. Let us know where you're watching from. 81 in the live stream. 83. Clock is ticking up. Somebody's got to chime in. Right down the middle. 2-2. A quick read here. If you're in the area, don't forget to frequent our sponsors, Johnny's Barbecue, Murphy Hay and Feed. Mangum Insurance is in Coates and Dunn. Graham White hacks one to stay alive. I will be making my way to Johnny's Barbecue. We might have to get the owner in here and give us a little interview. Talk to us about his baseball story and how he got into slinging pork. The 2-2 gets him looking. So the Canes leave 2 on. In the bottom of the 5th inning here at Frazier Field, they have runs to make up. They did pick up 1 in the bottom of the 5th, but they need 2 more to tie it, 3 to get ahead, and they need to keep the Bobcat bats from producing any more from the offensive side. You're watching Hurricanes baseball on the Louisburg Sports Network. Welcome back to Louisburg College Baseball as they take on the Bryant Stratton Bobcats for Game 2 of a doubleheader on opening day 2025. And Anthony Dorner on the mound, pitching to Bishop Corliss, the center fielder. He homered in his last at-bat. Skied out of play over the top of the broadcast booth. Dorner at 30 pitches. This is his 7th batter after coming in for relief behind Cody Mahaffey, who relieved starter Simon Martone. Two. Behind the back of Bishop Corliss. I like that spirit, you know, rather get out of the way and get another opportunity to hit the ball than to take one. And Dorner comes back inside and loses him to the walk. So one way or the other, Mr. Corliss gets to first. Molly Lee on behalf of Dakota Dahl. Wichita, Kansas. Love it. Midwest. Appreciate you checking in. Don't be bashful or shy, everybody else. 60 some odd of you out there watching. It's all good. We want to hear where you're watching from. In our second game of a 2-game doubleheader on opening day here in Louisburg, North Carolina. We're about an hour's drive northeast of the state capital, Raleigh. If you don't know where that is, you can go check it out. Lots of cleats on the concrete below us, getting picked up on our ambient microphone. Sounds like somebody's chewing rocks. Dorner. And this is Nelson Zapata, the right fielder. He's 0 for 3. Runner goes, hit and run up the middle. Daniels, and now we got a mix-up, and he's still safe, diving head first. So Wyke and Daniels kind of miscommunicated up the middle, and I want to kind of say there was some hesitation there. I thought for sure Daniels would have had it and a quick flip back to second. Kreiner, though, was coming in quick anyway. He came up with it and held Bishop Quarles at second from advancing. Almost got him out. So Coach Herring is going to come out, probably talk to his middle infield. Anthony Dorner. So we'll put up a little music of our own. Just to kind of, and he's going to relieve him. So coming in from the bullpen will be our third reliever here in Game 2. Probably not nearly as deep into the bullpen as Coach Herring wanted to go with a rubber match tomorrow, but this is college baseball. I know full well he's prepared to put up a 4-game rotation throughout the course of a week, a midweek game, and 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 on the weekend. So depending on how things are shaken out on the schedule and how the team is performing and what people look like on rest schedules, all those things considered, I know Coach Herring is a veteran as a pitcher himself, spending some time at Campbell University as a college athlete and making his way into the coaching ranks. 10 years here at Louisburg this year. Skipper of the Louisburg Canes, coming behind the Hall of Fame, Coach Frazier. I think we're going to have to get Coach Frazier in here for a little bit of history lesson on the Hurricanes. Many, many years have been played here in Louisburg, North Carolina. I believe dating back into the early or mid-'70s. And we had an alum from the mid-'80s who was checking in on Game 1. That was great to have him. Bishop's big sister checking in. Thank you, ma'am. I think you're about the 3rd or 4th person out of Nashville tonight and today who's been tuning in. Appreciate your attendance online. Quarles. Apologies. Bishop Quarles. Silent E. Interesting. I'm learning a lot tonight. All right, here we go now. Diego Melendez stepping in. Leighton Babb on the mound for the Canes. Melendez slaps it across the left side as the left side of the infield was splitting. So an RBI single with an extra base for Melendez. Zapata down on third. Quarles scores, and Melendez reaches second on an extra base. 8-5 now in favor of the Bobcats. Babb puts one up and in on Johnson, and he finds a parking spot for it in foul territory out past the left field foul pole. So glad I didn't park there tonight. The 1-1. Off speed, misses low and away. Chris Johnson is playing first base in this game. I believe he was on second. Oh, other way around? Other way around, I believe. He was first, then they moved him to second between games 1 and 2. Leighton Babb deals, bounces it in front of Modrak. Looks like some Lady Hurricanes in the cheap seats here right beneath the broadcast booth. Not sure if they're softball players or other athletes. Johnson draws the walk. So bases loaded. No outs. Top of the 6th inning. Leighton Babb on the mound, and the infield is in. Swing and a miss by number 11, Ben Malone. In this game, Malone is 0 for 1. He also played third base rather. He was hit by a pitch twice and then grounded out twice, so he went 0 for 4. Believe in the last at-bat, Malone was the one who was trying to put the squeeze bunt on the whole time, and then he was crowding the plate something fierce, and he finally got called out looking as he probably drew the bunt back 4 times. Swing and a miss off the end of the barrel. So Malone with 3 strikeouts, 2 looking, 1 swinging. Angel Ariana. He is 1 for 2. 1 out. Infield on the corners are in. Breaking ball from Leighton Babb gets the called strike to start off the at-bat in their first competition between each other. Unfortunate circumstance right there that did not play out in the favor of the Canes. And runners advance, and Zapata scores. So now a bases loaded has turned into a second and third with 2 runs in this inning. And the Canes have fallen back to 4 runs. A little bit more poise from the Canes in game 1, and obviously domination at the plate as Arocha just got manhandled by the Hurricanes with giving up 4 home runs and 6 hits. Not the case here, though, for the starting pitcher, Casey Proctor, for the Bobcats. 1-2 with one out, runners second and third. The infield is in. Check swing. Modrak was hoping he got him on the called third strike or a check swing strike. I like that spirit from a catcher. Both he and Costello, high energy. Swing and a miss, fans him. So Ariona will go 1 for 3 now. Behind him, Dakota Dahl. Dahl is 1 for 3. He's got 2 strikeouts and a single. Swing and a miss. Cohen, I can't answer your question. I don't know the team well enough, and I certainly don't know the coach's thoughts. You'll have to take it up with him. Grounder, Kenny Shadle, fielder's choice to first, 5-3. And that retires the side, finally. The Canes coming up with the top of the order. Labello, Costello, and Shadle right after the break. Louisburg College Baseball, brought to you in part by Johnny's Barbecue, located in Louisburg, North Carolina, offering authentic Eastern North Carolina whole hog barbecue. And Mangum Insurance Agency, with offices in Coates and Dunn, products and service for each and every situation, as well as Murphy Hay and Feed, feeding farms, families, and the community for over 30 years. If you're a fan of Hurricanes baseball, please make sure to become a fan of our sponsors. Look them up on the web, find them on the internet. Make sure to check in and let them know you heard about them on Hurricanes Baseball and the Hurricanes Sports Network, live from behind the backstop on YouTube. Taking a look at the box score at this point. 9 runs, 11 hits, and 2 errors for the Bobcats. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Hurricanes after 5.5 innings.
Leading off the inning.
Hurricanes putting 2 on the board in the bottom of the first, taking the lead there, and then again taking the lead back again in the bottom of the third. However, the 4th inning started falling apart with 4 runs given up, and then they answered back with 1 run in the bottom of the 5th. But at this point, the Bobcats are outpacing the Hurricanes. Called strike on the first pitch to the top of the order and lead off here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Nick Labello. Jason Johnson taking a look at his communicator, looks back in the dugout. Okie doke, if that's what you want, Coach, here it comes. A little bit slippery there for Dakota Dahl to hold on to. Keeps it in front of him. I know I saw with a couple of things on social media where the pitchers in the major leagues with the communicators in their hats, or they kind of hear an automated voice. It's not really someone's, it's like an AI generated type thing, and the catcher just toggles through a number of different pitches. Here, obviously, the pitcher wearing basically like a Apple Watch on their wrist that just gives a visual display. Be interesting to know from a tech standpoint all the different options that are out there for the teams in baseball to use to call pitches. Clearly, they're not letting the catchers, or at least using the catchers, giving hand signals anymore. Well, not every team. And Lobello draws a walk.
Up to bat, number 13, Iowa, Costello.
DH for the starting pitcher and relievers in this game, Teo Costello. 1 for 3. Check swing, gets called strike anyway. Sack RBI for Costello in the first game. No production just yet, but he's got the reputation for it. Pickoff not in time, throw to the opposite side of the bag in the runner. From Johnson to Malone over at first. Another pickoff attempt. Try to widen out the shot here and give you at least a little bit of a view of first, right on the edge. Oh, so our sound is flying around, huh? Sorry about that, folks. Let me try to reset this. Yep, looks like we're back. Might have to chat with the front office, the home office, and see if we can't get some new hardware to improve the quality of the live stream for you. We had this technical difficulty in the first game as well, where the sound just cut out. Costello has to do a bit of a Matrix move out there, like he's Neo, leaning back. 2-2. Pitch is outside, not going to be enough to get a called strike. And Costello fights it off. Johnson and Costello mano a mano right now. Battling it out on a full count. One runner on first with no outs. We're in the bottom of the sixth. The Bobcats trying to hold off the Hurricanes. We have a flip-flop in the score right now. The first game ended. Costello hacks one to third baseman. Fielder's choice across, and he'll have a sack infield ground ball that pushes the runner. So Lobello gets to second on a fielder's choice, but Costello gets out on that same fielder's choice. And now we have Kenny Shadle, the third baseman for the Canes. Shadle 1 for 3. He had a single and scored eventually. Started the game for the Canes in the first inning with a home run as the third batter. Little knee music. 2-0. Shadle doesn't flinch, takes it in the deltoid. So runners will be first and second with 1 out. Shadle gets the hit by pitch off of Johnson.
Out to bat, number 10, Anthony Jones.
1 out. That was Costello and a fielder's choice. And now we have Anthony Jones. He's 1 for 3. He walked. Well, he's 1 for 2 with a walk. Pardon me. And then he was caught up in a fielder's choice at second. Hacks that one. Vinny Vigil chiming in, sir, on behalf of Jason Johnson. Glad to have you here. I love the engagement. And I appreciate everybody stepping in for the audio checks. If it gets weird and echoey or it sounds like I'm way off in the distance, that's computers for you. 1-1 with 1 out and 2 on. '68 in the live stream. Let us know where you're watching from. Had some good engagement this broadcast. The game before, game 1 of the 2-game doubleheader set. Had some good engagement there. I think we were up around 80 at one time. And total viewers. We'll try to grow the community here. Spread the word. National Junior College Athletic Association, Region 10, JUCO Baseball. Louisburg Hurricanes hosting the Bryant Stratton Bobcats in opening day. 2-game set, rubber match tomorrow up in Virginia Beach. Hard hit. Touches third, fires across. So 5-3 double play, snuffs it out. Bobcats are going to be excited about that, but the Hurricanes are going to need to do something. Going to need to make something happen here. So Jones grounds into a double play.
Move your vehicle. Thank you.
When the Canes come back to bat, it will be Green, Daniels, and Kreiner. You're watching Hurricanes baseball on the Hurricanes Sports Network. Coming to you live from behind the backstop and on YouTube. Leighton Babb back on the mound after he came in the last top of the 5th inning. Top of the 6th, pardon me. We're going into the top of the 7th right now. Had 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit. Babb faced 5. Brandon Estabza puts up the bunt and draws it back. Try to give you a tight view while we have no runners on. Three-0 to the leadoff batter bottle in the lineup. And this says it's Clark, not Estabza. Batigliero is making some substitutions, and Clark is going to draw the walk. Should be back to the top of the lineup with Keith Stewart. He's a sub for who started out Justin Smith. Stewart struck out in his last at-bat, and it looks like Coach Herring is going to go to the bullpen once more here in Game 2 and give relief to Leighton Babb. So we'll put up a little background noise for you. Deanne Johnson, I don't know if I saw you there earlier, ma'am, chiming in from Charlotte, North Carolina. If I miss you, apologies. Welcome to the broadcast. Don't want to make any assumptions with the last name. But a strong probability that you were here on behalf of a player.
Number 37, Anderson Lauer.
Anderson Lauer now for the Hurricanes, left-handed pitcher, freshman, 6'1" at 160 pounds, coming out of Heritage High School, right out our back door here in Wake Forest, North Carolina. Anderson finished off his varsity high school playing career with a 3.46 ERA, and as a senior, had 1 win, 1 loss to his record. Made 11 appearances, pitched 26 in the 3rd inning with 32 strikeouts, facing 122 batters. An inning eater with a .27 opposing batting average in his senior year. Definitely a middle reliever and the kind of player that every coach needs in their bullpen, especially a left-hander. Runner on first. We'll keep you on the tight view for a little bit. Pickoff, not in time, but close out of frame. Anderson being referred to as Andy by his teammates out of the dugout. Lauer's going to keep Clark honest over at first. No outs. Top of the 7th inning. Deals to the plate. 2-1. Swing and a miss, throw down. Not in time, bit of a collision between Clark and White. White gets up and walks away. Now Clark slow to dust himself off, but looks to be okay. Athletic trainer for the Canes is going to go at least talk with White. Norlee Link is the on-duty athletic trainer for today's game. Reporting up under athletic director Mike Holloman. Two-two. Full count now with a runner on second, Clark. Swing and a miss. And that's one for the Canes. So Keith Clark ends up with 2 strikeouts. Here in game 2. Left-hander Bishop Quarles. Runner goes, throw down to third, and that'll be a second. Ooh, he says it's safe. Wow, Shadle looked like he was set up nice, came in with the tag, and somehow Clark got the opposite side of the bag away from the tag. So now Bishop Quarles has a runner in scoring position with 1 out. Bobcats dugout didn't like that. So what started off the inning as a walk for Clark has now put him in a scoring opportunity on third with the center fielder, Bishop Quarles at the plate. Soft fly ball, deep center field, off the top of the batter's eye. That was being a little facetious to say a soft fly ball. That was well struck by Mr. Quarles. So he's 3 for 4 with a walk, a strikeout, and of those 3, he has a home run. Definitely keep Mr. Quarles' name on top of mind. So Logan Metter's now going to come in. I have a feeling Coach Herring was probably looking to use Metters tomorrow. Leighton Babb goes into the dugout, join the rest of the Hurricanes. Thanks to that extra high center field batter's eye fence, there's two hits today that have stayed in the park as a result. If it weren't for that batter's eye being 20 feet tall or more, those would have been home runs. So a 10-5 difference between the Hurricanes and the Bobcats, and that is not in favor of the Hurricanes. So Canes are on the lower end of that 5, while the Bobcats have the 10. If you missed Game 1, you can go back and watch it. It is here on the Louisburg College YouTube channel. And you'll see that the Canes picked up Game 1 9-4 with 8 hits to the 10 by the Bobcats. 1 error recorded for the Canes in Game 1. Here in Game 2, taking a read of the box score, 10 runs, 12 hits, and 2 errors for the Bobcats. 5 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Canes. Turn the music down, sir. Nelson Zapata steps in, 1 for 4. Metters with at least 3/4 arm slot delivery off the right side. Hails from Cary High School here in North Carolina, just one of the Southwestern Athletic Conference for Wake County. Southwestern Wake County. Right back over the top of his head, diving is Wyke. That'll go out to Kreiner, who throws to the cutoff. The relay will be held by Anthony Jones, and that'll be another run that scores, so that'll be 11. So Quarles comes in from second. One out. We still need to get a half inning for the Canes to get their last at-bats. Metters deals. Runner goes. Hard ground ball to Shadle. Fielder's choice to first gets the force. Well played by the third baseman. Two outs and a runner on second. 2 runs scored so far here in the top of the 7th. It'll be only a 7-inning game. So if you're looking to go to dinner like I am immediately hereafter, well, it's going to be a late one. Diego Melendez, the shortstop, 4 for 4. The 0-1 goes to 0-2. Four singles for the shortstop in Game 2. Over any reachable distance for Troy Daniels. The throw across the infield, not in time, but a well-thrown ball from Stephen Kreiner out of center field. So Melendez 5 for 5 with another single. There's another name. Gosh, really losing track here. I'm looking at the play-by-play in Game Changer. Says 54 is coming to the plate. I think that's for Malone. Hunter Adams out of Winter Springs, Florida. 5'11" freshman first baseman. The bats have gotten hot for the Bobcats, to say the least, here in Game 2. Quite a bit outside by Metters. 1-1. Foul tip. Foul ball. 12-5 now in favor of the Bobcats at Frazier Field. Metters with an off speed down the middle, a little bit high, gets under it. This is Adams. Curling line drive through the infield. James Green with the throw to home, off line, and Metters saves the ricochet off the backstop. Modric unable to get to it. So Hunter Adams with an RBI double. Well, it might be a single with an extra base, but either way, he got to second. And Coach Herring is just going to tell Metters he's got to get this one more out. He's got nobody else in the bullpen right now, and I don't think he wants to put any more arms up. He's got to get through another game tomorrow up in Virginia Beach. Bobcats are just on a rally. 15 hits, 13 runs. If it had only been a one-game set today, it would have looked to be a different story. Metters at just 12 pitches. Tries to get to the outside corner. Goes a little bit too far. 59 people. We're in the top of the 7th of Game 2 in a doubleheader on opening day 2025. Region 10. Division 2 of the National Junior College Athletic Association. Regular season. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Angel Ariana. 1 for 3. Gets another called strike. 2-2. Swing and a miss. There we go. Canes are going to get their last at bat. It's been a long game, too, of only 7 innings. Total play time exceeding that of game 2 at this point. Trying to find the broadcast clock so we have an idea of how long we've been on air here in game 2. Closing in on 3 hours for 7 innings. A bit uncalled for. But that's baseball, and it's a long season. Boys of Summer are playing in the end of winter, February 1st. Welcome back to Louisburg College Baseball here on the Louisburg Sports Network. Brought to you live from behind the backstop via YouTube. Two-game set, game 2 of a 3-game set. 2 here at Louisburg's Frazier Field, and then tomorrow, Trent Field in Virginia Beach, Virginia, as the Bobcats and the Hurricanes face off in opening day 2025 season matchup.
Now at the bat, number 42, your left fielder, James Green.
James Green, hot last year, hot this past fall, looking to break out in his sophomore season as the University of Arkansas commit. Jason Johnson back on the bump for the Bobcats. And the umpire gets it in the hand as it ricochets off the ground right between him and the catcher. Nora Lee Link's going to come out and make sure he's okay. She is the athletic trainer on duty for tonight's game. Offerings being turned away by the home plate umpire. I've seen worse. I would not want that job. Fingers are about as sensitive as any other place to get hit by a baseball. The metatarsal are not forgiving. Two-0. Just checking my audio. I just heard something weird, so I think we're okay. Green holds off again. 2-2 now. High and inside under the hands. Green has to react quickly. One for 3 is Green, left fielder. Gets it up in the air, but it's going to just be right over the top of the right fielder, Nelson Zapata. So 1 out.
Now up to bat, number 8, Troy Daniels.
Daniels drew a walk in his first at bat. in the 5th inning. The 1-0 goes to 2-0. I think I'm going to need to get a stair stepper up here if I'm standing on my feet for double headers every weekend. Johnson deals. Gets the outside corner. 2-1. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Louisburg College baseball team may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, while the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Louisburg College baseball team. Troy Daniels draws the walk, as he did in his first at-bat.
Now up to bat, your center fielder, number 4, Steven Kreiner.
Kreiner with a base hit and then a stolen base in his last at-bat. Hit by a pitch prior to that. And then a ground out to the first baseman in the first inning. Hacks one out of play. 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 7th. A very long 7-inning game. With 2 4-run innings by the Bobcats. Top of the 4th, and then again top of the 7th, rather. Pardon me. Check swing 1-1 with 1 out and 1 on. Boy, I should have brought my jacket. I wasn't thinking. Johnson deals. High and away. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on first. No activity in the bullpen for the Bobcats. Johnson at 56 pitches. Kreiner looked like he might have thought twice and swung late from my vantage point. Either way, he did not hit the ball. 2-2. Low and inside, fouled out of play. There's that cool wind coming in. So Kreiner goes down. And Jake Modrak.
Number 14, Jake Modrak.
Two for 3 here in game 2. Shows 1 for 2 in game changer, but I had a single in the 2nd, and then a single with an RBI in the 3rd, so I don't know what I missed. Then I have a strikeout. I must have scored something incorrect. think Coach Battagliero just wants to go home. He thought that was a good pitch in his vantage point. 2-0 with 2 out and a runner on first. Up and in on Modrak. Very quiet right now in the Canes dugout. A little bit of noise, but not much. 3-0 count. Low and away, loses him. And Modrak draws the walk. So 2 on. Daniels to second. Modrak to first. And Graham White, the second baseman, steps up. He's 0 for 3. Johnson with the hard pitch on the outside corner gets a called strike. That looked, that's in that 6 inches at least past the outside edge. Two on, 2 out. Bottom of the 7th of a 7-inning game. And that one clearly across the opposite batter's box. Here comes the 1-1 with 2 out and 2 on. Canes are just going to have to cover the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes if they want to get a rally going here this late. Two. Johnson fills up the count. I'm sure with the cool temperatures now, we're well probably south of 50 degrees at this point. The texture of the ball and the grip of the fingers. Inside, and he gets him. Drop third strike. Going to throw it down. That'll be the ball game, and the Canes and the Bobcats split a 2-game opening day doubleheader here at Frazier Field in Louisburg, North Carolina. Tomorrow's rubber match up in Virginia Beach, Virginia at Trent Field. Not to be broadcasted here on the Louisburg Sports Network, but you'll be able to follow along on Game Changer. So Canes fans, look for the team. If you're unfamiliar with Game Changer, you're going to find it as the Louisburg College Hurricanes for the spring of 2025. You'll be able to follow along play-by-play right there. For Coach Herring and all of the Louisburg players, I'm Bill Martone saying thank you for joining us here live from behind the backstop on the Louisburg Sports Network.